Vietnam, 1971. The jungle took everything from Robert Chen, his youth, his innocence, his faith in God. But it gave him one thing, the ability to see people when they're invisible. 50 years later, that's exactly what he was, invisible. Robert sat on a bench outside a gas station in Portland, Oregon. Gray beard down to his chest, worn military jacket with faded patches, a cardboard sign that read, Vietnam vet. Anything helps. God bless. Most people walked past like he was part of the concrete. Some crossed the street to avoid him. A few dropped coins without making eye contact. In his pocket, $3 bills. His entire fortune. He'd been saving it for 2 weeks. Enough for a hot meal. Maybe a coffee, something warm. Then he heard crying. A young woman sat in her car at pump number 4, head on the steering wheel, shoulders shaking, sobbing so hard her whole body trembled. Robert watched her for 5 minutes. Nobody else noticed. Too busy with their phones, their lives, their problems. The woman got out, walked to the cashier, came back crying harder, got in her car, put her head down again. Robert stood up, his knees cracked, his back screamed. He walked over to her window, knocked gently. The woman jumped, rolled down the window 2 inches, eyes red and swollen. I don't want trouble, she said, her voice shaking. No trouble, ma'am, Robert said, his voice rough from years of not using it much. I just noticed you're upset. Can I help? She laughed, a bitter sound. Unless you got $40, I don't think so. Robert looked at his $3, looked at her face, saw his daughter, the one he hadn't spoken to in 15 years, the one who'd given up on him. What do you need $40 for? My card declined, she said, fresh tears rolling. I need gas to get to Seattle. My mom's in the hospital, heart attack. If I don't get there tonight, I might never see her again. How much gas can you get for $3? Robert asked. She looked at him like he was crazy. Maybe a gallon? That won't get me anywhere. Robert pulled out his $3, handed them through the window. It's something, he said. The woman stared at the money, at his torn jacket, his dirty hands, the sign on the bench behind him. I can't take this, she whispered. You need it more than me. My mom is not dying, Robert said. Yours is. Take it. She took the money, started crying again, but different now. Thank you, she said. What's your name? Robert. Robert Chen. I'm Diana, she said. Diana Morrison. I won't forget this. People always say that, Robert thought, but they always do forget. Diana drove away. Robert walked back to his bench, sat down. His stomach growled. He ignored it. That night he slept under the freeway overpass in his tent, cold, hungry, alone, like every other night for the past 8 years. Let me take you back, show you how Robert got here. Robert Chen came home from Vietnam in 1973, 23 years old, Purple Heart, Bronze Star, nightmares every single night. He married his high school sweetheart, had a daughter named Sarah, got a job at a factory, tried to be normal. But the war doesn't leave. It follows you, sits next to you at dinner, sleeps in your bed, whispers in your ear. Robert started drinking to quiet the voices. Then he couldn't stop, lost his job, then another, then another. His wife left, took Sarah. He didn't blame her. 20 years passed in a blur. Odd jobs, cheap apartments, cheaper bottles. Then his back gave out. Injury from the war finally caught up. Couldn't work anymore. Disability checks weren't enough. Lost his apartment. Ended up on the streets. His daughter Sarah tried to help at first. Gave him money. Let him stay on her couch. But he always went back to the bottle. Finally, she said the words that broke him. Dad, I can't watch you kill yourself anymore. Don't call me again until you're sober. That was 15 years ago. He hadn't called. Too ashamed. Too broken. Too late. So Robert lived invisible. A ghost in a military jacket. Just another forgotten veteran in a city full of people too busy to see. 48 hours after giving Diana his last $3, Robert sat on his usual bench. Morning sun warming his face. His stomach hadn't stopped growling in 2 days. A car pulled up. Expensive. New. The door opened. Diana stepped out. Robert recognized her immediately. "You came back," he said, surprised. "I told you I wouldn't forget," Diana said. She sat down next to him on the bench. "How's your mama?" Robert asked. "Alive," Diana said, her voice thick. "Because of you. I made it to Seattle with the gas I bought. Got there 20 minutes before she went into emergency surgery. I held her hand, told her I loved her. She made it through. She's going to be okay." Robert smiled, his first real smile in months. "That's real good, ma'am." Diana pulled out an envelope, handed it to him. "What's this?" "Open it." Robert opened the envelope with shaking hands. Inside, a check. He stared at the number, couldn't process it. $40,000. "This is a mistake," Robert said, his hands shaking harder. "It's not," Diana said. "I'm a social worker. I've worked with homeless veterans for 10 years. I know the system. I know the programs. And I know how hard it is to get off the streets alone. That money is for you." Robert's eyes filled with tears. "I can't." "Yes, you can," Diana said. "You gave me your last $3. A stranger. You were hungry and you gave me everything you had. Now I'm giving back. But there's more." She pulled out papers. "I found you a spot in a veterans housing program. Clean apartment. Fully furnished. Rent paid for 6 months while you get on your feet. Medical care, counseling, job training if you want it." Robert couldn't speak. After 8 years on the streets, hope felt like a foreign language. "Why?" he finally whispered. "Why would you do this for me?" Diana's eyes filled with tears. "Because my father was a veteran too," she said. "Gulf War. He came home different. Started drinking. We tried to help, but he wouldn't let us. 10 years ago, he died alone under a bridge in Sacramento. I found out 3 weeks after he was already buried. I never got to say goodbye." Her voice broke. "When you knocked on my window, I saw him. I saw my dad, and I realized God gave me a second chance. I couldn't save my father. But maybe I could save you." Robert broke. 50 years of pain came pouring out. He sobbed. This woman he'd known for 5 minutes held him while he cried, like a daughter would, like Sarah used to. "I don't deserve this," Robert said. "Yes, you do," Diana said. "Every veteran deserves to come home, even if it takes 50 years. 1 week later, Robert stood in his new apartment. Small, clean, a bed, a kitchen, a bathroom. Things he hadn't had in 8 years. He took a shower, the first real shower in months. Watched the dirt and shame circle the drain. Looked in the mirror. Barely recognized himself. That night, Diana came by with groceries. Helped him stock the fridge. Showed him how everything worked. Before she left, she handed him one more thing. A phone. "My number's already in there," she said. "You call me if you need anything. Anything at all. And Robert, there's one more number in there." Robert looked. Sarah Chen, daughter. His hands started shaking again. "I called her," Diana said gently. "Told her what happened. She wants to hear from you. When you're ready." Robert stared at his daughter's name on the screen. 15 years. "I don't know what to say to her." "Start with hello," Diana said. "The rest will come." 3 days later, Robert called. His hands shook so bad he almost dropped the phone. It rang twice. "Hello?" Sarah's voice. Older, but still his little girl. "Sarah," Robert said, his voice cracking. "It's Dad." Silence, then crying. "Dad," she whispered, "I thought I'd never hear your voice again." "I'm sorry," Robert said, "for everything, for all of it." "I'm so sorry." "I know," Sarah said. "Diana told me what you did, giving your last money to help a stranger. That's the dad I remember, the good man." "I want to see you," Robert said. "Can I see you?" Sarah's voice broke with joy. "I'm already in my car. I'll be there in 2 hours." Robert waited by the window, watching. When Sarah's car pulled up, he saw her. 38 years old now, not the little girl he remembered. She got out, looked up at his window. Their eyes met. Robert ran, down the stairs, out the door. They met in the parking lot, held each other, both crying. "I missed you so much," Sarah said. "I missed you too, baby girl." "I'm sorry I left. I'm sorry I gave up." You didn't give up, Robert said. I did. But I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm 8 months sober. I'm getting help. I'm trying. That's all I ever wanted, Sarah said. Just for you to try. 6 months passed. Robert worked part-time at a veterans center, helping other homeless vets navigate the system, sharing his story, showing them hope is real. Diana visited every week, became family. Sarah came every Sunday, brought her 2 kids, Robert's grandchildren, kids he'd never met. They called him Grandpa. That word healed something in him he thought was dead forever. 1 year after that gas station, Diana organized an event. Local news came. They wanted to tell Robert's story. He didn't want attention, but Diana convinced him. Your story could help others, she said. Veterans who think it's too late. People who think kindness doesn't matter. Show them it does. Robert agreed. At the event, he stood in front of cameras, told his story, the jungle, the bottle, the streets, the $3, the second chance. When he finished, the room was silent. Then applause. But one person didn't clap. An older man in the back, white hair, thin, wearing a jacket with patches. Robert recognized the unit insignia, his unit, Vietnam. The man walked forward, tears streaming down his face. Robert, he said. Robert stared. Danny? Daniel Martinez, Robert's best friend from Vietnam, the guy who'd pulled him out of an ambush in 1971, the guy he thought died in 1972. You're alive, Robert whispered. I thought you were dead. They told me you were dead. I thought the same about you, Danny said. They embraced. 2 old soldiers. Both thought they'd lost the other 50 years ago. The room erupted in applause again. After the event, Danny and Robert sat outside, catching up on 50 lost years. Danny had his own story, his own struggles, his own redemption. We made it, brother, Danny said. We finally made it home. Yeah, Robert said. We did. Robert learned something through all of this. Kindness is never wasted. That $3 didn't just buy gas. It bought hope. It bought a second chance. It bought a life back. And it reminded him that even when you're invisible, even when you're forgotten, even when you've given up on yourself, someone sees you. Someone remembers. Someone cares. Diana saw him, just like he saw her. And that changed everything. So here's my question for you. Who's invisible in your life right now? Who are you walking past? Who needs to be seen? Maybe it's a homeless person on your corner. Maybe it's a coworker struggling in silence. Maybe it's a family member you've given up on. Whoever it is, see them. A few dollars, a kind word, a phone call. It could change everything. Robert gave $3 and got his life back. Imagine what you could do. If this story moved you, don't just feel it, act on it. Leave a comment about a time someone saw you when you were invisible, or a time you chose to see someone else. Subscribe if you believe in second chances and the power of small acts of kindness. Share this story because someone watching needs to hear it. Someone out there is sitting on a bench right now thinking nobody cares. Show them they're wrong. We don't leave our people behind. Not our veterans, not our neighbors, not anyone. Now go out there and be someone's Diana. Be someone who sees,